Okay, just for a second, take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Feels good, right? For millions of us, that little moment of calm comes from an app on our phone. But what you probably don't realize is that your digital mindfulness practice is secretly connected to a massive, high-stakes legal war over the future of creativity itself. So let's get into it. This is a wild one. I mean, life is a lot right now, isn't it? The endless notifications, the constant pressure. It's just so much. So, of course, we go looking for a solution, right? A way to quiet all that noise and just find a little bit of peace. And that search has kicked off what you could call a mindfulness gold rush. The app stores are absolutely flooded with options, and every single one is promising you a path to a calmer life. You've got AI-powered sessions, structured courses, there's a digital guru for literally everyone. And believe me, it is big business, all built on our need to just slow down. But you have to ask, when you peel back the slick design and the soothing voices, what's the actual product here? What are the ancient ideas they've packaged up and are beaming through our screens? To figure that out, we have to go back, like way, way back. Okay, so calm, insight, and consciousness. The foundation of pretty much every single one of these apps can be traced back to two fundamental practices from Buddhist philosophy. And they're not just about chilling out. They're about completely rewiring your relationship with your own mind. So these ancient practices really come down to two key things. On one side, you've got samatha. Think of this as developing tranquility. It's about taming that monkey mind that's always jumping around, usually by focusing on something simple like your breath. But then, on the other side, you have vipassana. This isn't about calming down. It's about gaining insight. It's about learning to watch your thoughts and feelings come and go without getting swept away by them. Yeah, this quote just nails it, right? Samatha is like going to the gym for your mind. You're building stability. Vipassana is playing the sport. You're using that stability to see yourself and the world with incredible clarity. Most apps kind of mix them together, but it's super important to know that they are two different paths with two different goals. But that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How does a profound philosophical practice travel across thousands of years and entire oceans to become a monthly subscription service? Well, the answer is that these ideas were never just frozen in time. Right. Spiritual traditions, philosophies, they're not dusty old relics in a museum. For them to survive, they have to adapt. They have to respond to new cultures, new technologies, and, well, new problems. Let's take Taiwan as a perfect case study. So Buddhism shows up in the 1600s, and it's mostly for things like funerals. Then it gets totally reshaped by Japanese influence, and then again by monks who fled the mainland. And more recently, it transforms into something called humanistic Buddhism, which tackles modern issues like the environment. This just shows how ideas are constantly being remixed and reapplied. Your meditation app, it's just the latest link in a very, very long chain. And this brings us to this really powerful metaphor for how all human knowledge gets built. Whether we're talking about science, art, or philosophy, nobody ever starts from zero. We all build on the work that came before us. You've probably heard this famous quote from Isaac Newton, way back in 1675. He knew that his incredible breakthroughs didn't just pop into his head. Nope, they were only possible because of the giants, the thinkers and scientists who came before him. It's this beautiful idea that progress is a team sport. I mean, just look at something like nuclear energy. For over 2,000 years, the idea of an atom was just a cool thought experiment. Then, one discovery built on another and another. It's this amazing cascade of insights, from a guess to some proof to actually splitting the nucleus to fission. Every single step was absolutely essential, and each scientist was standing on the shoulders of the giant who came before them. And this is where our story about meditation and ancient wisdom suddenly crashes right into the world of artificial intelligence. Because today, we are building a new kind of giant, an artificial one. Modern AI models are trained by absorbing a mind-boggling amount of stuff humans have created. Books, art, music, everything. They are, in the most literal sense possible, standing on the shoulders of all of us. But there's a huge problem. The giants are fighting back. Creators of all kinds are asking a really simple but really profound question. Is it okay to build these incredibly powerful new tools using our work without asking and without paying? And that question has set off an absolute legal firestorm. And this fight is happening everywhere all at once.
You've got the New York Times suing OpenAI over its articles. Authors are suing over their books being used. Artists are going after AI image generators. And the music industry is trying to figure out what to do about AI-copied songs. The key thing to realize is this isn't about just one industry. It's about the very meaning of ownership in our digital world.
And the amount of money we're talking about, it is just staggering. We're seeing lawsuits asking for billions of dollars. So this isn't some academic debate anymore. It is a massive conflict with very, very real financial consequences that are already changing the entire tech landscape. Okay, so a really key idea at the center of all of this is something called model memorization. This is when an AI doesn't just learn from the data it's trained on, but it actually memorizes it and can spit it back out, word for word. That's a critical difference because it stops being about the fuzzy idea of learning and starts being about the very clear act of copying, which is a much easier case for copyright infringement. And, regulators are starting to step in. The U.S. Copyright Office has made their position pretty clear. Legally speaking, creativity needs a human author. An AI can be an incredibly powerful tool, like a paintbrush, but it can't be the painter. That line in the sand is a huge deal for these court cases. So all of this leads us to the biggest question of all. What happens next? Seriously, the results of these court battles are going to draw the map for how technology and creativity work together for decades. When you boil it all down, it looks like we're heading towards one of two very different futures. In one version, creators win. That probably means AI companies will have to pay for huge licenses to use data, and they'll have to build in safeguards so their models don't just copy things. In the other version, the developers win. They can keep training models on data they find online, but it means that creators lose a fundamental level of control over their own work. And that brings us all the way back to where we started, with an app designed to help us understand our own minds, our own inner worlds. And we've ended up in the middle of a global fight over who owns our collective mind, our art, our stories, our ideas. As these powerful new artificial minds keep getting smarter by learning from ours, the biggest question we have to answer is this: who gets to draw the borders?